Hi, my name is Kate Carson. I'm 29 years old. I manage commercial properties in Phoenix. On Christmas morning, my mother pointed at the door. Her voice was ice. Get out, and don't ever come back. I froze in her hallway, holding the gift I bought her. Behind her, the tree glowed like nothing was wrong. Dad stood near the kitchen, saying nothing. He never says anything when it matters. I walked out into the cold. No coat. No goodbye. No explanation. 3 weeks later, Dad called in a panic. He asked why the mortgage hadn't been paid, why the bank sent foreclosure warnings. My answer was simple. You told me to leave, so I left everything. And that's when the real unraveling began. Before we go on, tell me where you're watching from. And one detail about your setup: couch, bus, night shift. Echoes of Life wants to know who's sitting with us tonight. People think dysfunction arrives suddenly. Ours grew slow, like mold behind a wall. Mom lived for appearances. Perfect hair, perfect nails, perfect judgments about everyone else. She worked part-time at a dental office. Said it made her feel important. Said the wealthy clients respected her. She needed that fantasy more than air. Dad was different. Quiet. Hard-working. Tired in ways no sleep could fix. He spent years nodding through her tantrums. Never pushed back. Never protected anyone. Not even himself. My sister Emma saw it early. She rebelled. Piercings. New friends. Late nights. Mom hated that Emma didn't fit her perfect family script. I fit the script too well. Good grades. Part-time jobs. Never talked back. That made me the responsible one. Mom weaponized that title constantly. You'll take care of us someday. You're the stable daughter. You owe your parents after everything we gave you. Everything they gave me? Most days were shouting matches about money. Mom complained about bills while carrying new shopping bags. Dad came home exhausted, only to get blamed for everything. So I studied harder, worked harder, planned my escape one exam at a time. By high school, I was bussing tables, saving every dollar. The restaurant owner taught me real skills: budgeting, problem solving, actually earning what you spent. Mom called it cute, said it was temporary, said real success looked like luxury, not effort. I graduated near the top of my class, got a scholarship to ASU, left home with 2 bags, student loans, and relief. But Mom didn't celebrate. She never does. She just said, "Good, make money, take care of us later." I should have known what was coming. Because entitlement never stays small. It spreads. College felt like oxygen after years of walking on eggshells. I studied, worked, and rebuilt myself without her voice in my ear. Graduating with a business degree felt unreal. I landed a job managing commercial properties in Phoenix. 72 grand a year. A decent apartment. A small life that finally felt mine. I visited home once a month. Mostly for Dad. He still looked tired, still swallowed Mom's moods whole. Those dinners never changed. Mom complained first. Money. Her job. Her friends. Then she pivoted to me. You should help more. Good daughters support their parents. Other kids buy their moms new cars. I ignored the guilt until I couldn't. In 2018, Dad lost his job. Corporate buyout. 52 years old. No degree. No chances. He tried everywhere. Nothing. Then Mom called me at work, sobbing. Said the bank sent papers. Said they'd lose the house. Said I was their only hope. My stomach dropped. I knew their finances were messy, but not desperate. How much? I asked. The answer felt surgical. 4 months behind. $7,200 to save them. $1,900 monthly going forward. I had savings. Not much. Enough to help. Enough to ruin myself slowly. I met with their bank that weekend. Explained everything. Showed my statements. Arranged a structure where I quietly took over the payments. Their names stayed on the loan. I handled the money. I even let the bank tell a fake story about assistance programs. It protected their pride. It destroyed mine. The first transfer hurt. The second numbed me. By year 2, I wasn't helping. I was supporting 2 adults who refused to adjust their lives. Mom started spending more. New clothes. New hair appointments. New complaints about being poor, while I lived like a college kid again. My friends noticed. Why was I always broke? Why couldn't I travel? Why was I skipping dinners out? How do you tell people your mother became a financial black hole? The relationship I had ended. He said I was emotionally unavailable. Said I was still tied to my parents. He wasn't wrong. By year 4, I tracked every payment. Color-coded spreadsheets. Red everywhere. Panic everywhere. I kept telling myself it was temporary. But entitlement doesn't fade. It grows deeper roots. And mine were choking me. If this were your family, what would you do? Comment 1 to cut everything clean. Comment 2 to confront them publicly. Echoes of life is watching your choice. 6 years passed like that. 6 years of payments, excuses, and quiet resentment. Then came the day that detonated everything. Christmas Day. The night I finally snapped. I drove over with groceries like always. Steaks, wine, dessert. Stuff I couldn't even justify buying for myself. The house looked different when I walked in. Too shiny, too new. A massive leather sectional dominated the living room. Brand new. At least $6,000. Mom saw me staring. What do you think? We deserve nice things. She said it casually, like I hadn't been paying their mortgage for years. I swallowed the anger, headed to the kitchen to cook. Dad sat in his usual chair, scrolling his phone. He mumbled a greeting. Didn't look at me. Didn't look at anything anymore. But then I noticed something strange. Someone else was there. My aunt. Mom's sister. Visiting for the holiday. Smart, grounded, successful. Everything my mother pretended to be. She hugged me tightly. Said she was proud of my job. Said my parents must be thrilled about how well I'd done. I watched my mother's jaw tighten. That familiar flash of envy. Dinner started tense but civil. Until Aunt Brenda casually asked one innocent question. By the way, did you two ever catch up on your mortgage? I remember hearing something about trouble a few years back. The fork fell from my hand. My pulse spiked. The air froze. Mom frowned. What mortgage trouble? Brenda blinked. Oh, Kate mentioned helping during a rough patch. Silence. Pure, suffocating silence. Mom turned slowly. You did what? Her voice was low. Sharp. Deadly. I tried to explain gently. When Dad lost his job, you were 4 months behind. The bank. Her chair scraped loudly. She stood, face red, hands shaking. You went behind our backs? You made us look pathetic? You think we can't manage our own lives? I felt something inside me fracture. I saved your house. My voice cracked. You would have lost everything. Wrong thing to say. She exploded. Accusations. Insults. Years of bitterness unleashed at once. And then the words that changed my life forever. Get out! Get out of my house. And don't ever come back. Christmas lights glowed behind her, red and green reflecting off rage. I walked out with nothing but my keys. Cold air hit me hard, but the cold felt cleaner than the home I left behind. I didn't know it then, but that door slam saved my life. I drove home in silence. No radio. No thoughts. Just numbness. When I finally got inside my apartment, I stood there for a full minute, hands shaking, chest tight. The kind of exhaustion you feel in your bones. Then I opened my laptop, pulled up the bank's website. There it was. The mortgage transfer. $1 every month. 6 years of it. My finger hovered over cancel recurring payment. Her voice echoed in my head. Get out. Never come back. I clicked, then clicked again to confirm. Done. 6 years gone with 2 taps. And for the first time in forever, I wasn't drowning. I wasn't responsible. I was just free. But old habits die hard. Curiosity still gnawed at me, so I opened the county property records. What I found made my stomach knot. A home equity line. Opened 18 months earlier. $52,000 borrowed. Renovations. New appliances, furniture. All funded by a house I'd kept alive, while I lived paycheck to paycheck. Then I checked employment records. Mom hadn't been working part-time. She'd been collecting unemployment for 8 months. So every rough day at the clinic story? A lie. I didn't call. Didn't explain. Didn't justify. I let silence do the work. Week 1. Nothing. Not a single message. Maybe they thought I was cooling off. Week 2. Dad texted. Hope you're okay. Your mom is upset. The mortgage didn't go through. Maybe a glitch? I ignored it. Week 3. The tone changed. Fast. We got letters from the bank. We really need to talk. Please answer. I stayed quiet. Then came the predictable message. They're starting foreclosure. I stared at it. Waited to feel something. Guilt. Fear. Sadness. Nothing came. Just relief. Cold. Clean. Final. The next morning, my building manager called up. Your father is downstairs. Of course he was. Crisis always brings out their best performance. He stood in the hallway looking 10 years older. Eyes red. Hands trembling. Like someone finally tasting the consequences they'd avoided for years. We're losing the house, he whispered. We got the notice yesterday. He looked at me like I was the last life preserver on a sinking ship. Please, we need your help. For a moment, I said nothing. I just studied him. The fear. The desperation. The sudden realization that I had been holding everything together. I stepped aside and let him in. Not out of pity. Not out of obligation. Out of one reason only. I wanted to hear exactly what they'd say, now that their safety net was gone. And what he confessed next rewrote everything I thought I knew. He sat on my couch shaking, hands clasped, eyes swollen, like a man finally seeing his own shadow. "We can't lose the house," he whispered. "It's all we have left." I didn't rush him, didn't comfort him, didn't save him, not anymore. He kept talking anyway, words spilling out like a dam breaking. "Your mother, she thought you'd keep helping. She said you owed us. She said it was your responsibility." There it was, the truth, laid bare in one sentence. Not love, not gratitude, expectation, entitlement dressed as parenting. "I never agreed with her," he said, voice cracking. "But I didn't stop her either. I let her lean on you. I let you carry us. I knew it was wrong. I believed him, and that was the saddest part. He wasn't lying. He was confessing. Years too late. "What do you want from me?" I asked quietly. "Just one more chance," he said. "Help us save the house." I shook my head. Slow. Final. "No," I said. And the word didn't hurt this time. It felt like clarity. Like oxygen. He crumpled. Silent. Defeated. "Tell Mom I wish her well," I added. "But I'm done being the solution to problems she created." He stood up slowly. Older than I remembered. Smaller somehow. "Is this really it?" he asked. "It was it the night she kicked me out," I said. "You just didn't see it yet." He nodded, took one long breath, and walked out. I didn't follow. I didn't apologize. I didn't offer anything. I closed the door, locked it, leaned against it, and let the quiet settle. That was 3 months ago. They lost the house, moved into a small apartment, started over from nothing. Me? I bought my own place, paid entirely by me, lived entirely by me, peaceful, quiet, mine. Some endings don't feel triumphant. They just feel honest. And sometimes honesty is the closest thing to freedom we ever get. If this resonated, please like the video, share it with someone exhausted, and subscribe to stay for the next story on Echoes of Life.